Today we're going to talk about why it's hard to accurately rate a quarterback for the NFL draft compared to, let's say, a top prospect in other sports such as for the NBA draft. Unlike in college basketball, in college football, all the best players from different positions will join a team. For example, the best running back, quarterback, receiver, and other top 50 prospects will go to the same college. Pretty much the more top prospects on a team, the better individuals involved in this whole situation. In college basketball, the opposite actually happens. A top high school prospect, let's say top 20 at a high school prospect, will go to a team without any other top 20 prospects or one other at the most. You do have outliers such as the Duke class of 2019 with Zion, Barrett, and Cam Reddish. Also, free my man Reddish. The reason for that is that in college basketball, players are only there for a year, so they have to leave a good impression. They want to go and put as much stats as possible, and that is hard when you have many other top prospects on the same team that want to do the same. Someone's got to lead the team in field goal attempts. If you have multiple top prospects, then that's kind of hard to happen. The G League Ignite kind of has that same problem right now, where they have too many top prospects from high school on the same team, which keeps players from truly showing their true potential. And what can happens is that you end up having players that go down in the draft and become much lower prospects than they really are. Look, for example, Hardy, that's on the Dallas Mavericks right now. In college football, the exact opposite happens. A good quarterback makes a good receiver look better, and a good receiver makes a quarterback look better. So it makes sense for a bunch of top prospects to join together in college football. Going more into this, in college football, most of the offensive positions are dependent on the quarterback, but the quarterback is also dependent on his weapons. No matter how good a receiver is, he can't get the ball to himself. If a quarterback has terrible weapons, he can only do so much. A quarterback, if he wants to make his life good and go to the NFL, would choose a team that makes him look good with talent. No matter how good the quarterback is, if the receiver drops the ball, it's not like they're going to say, oh, he throws the ball so well. They're going to complain about why his completion is low and why his passing yards are low. It's not like in basketball where a guy can start the play, take the ball to the court, and then score the ball. That play really happens and starts and ends with the quarterback, unless you're Jalen Hurts. Also in college basketball, someone can go to a subpar college, ball out, and get drafted due to the stats. Just take Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons, for example. Due to this, players in college football go to colleges with talent there and go to college where there isn't. It pretty much creates a situation where you have a few colleges with like 3 to 7 NFL players going against a lot of colleges that don't really have any NFL prospects at all. The exact opposite happens in college basketball, where the talent is more spread out and it's rare to get two players in the top 20 of a draft from the same team in college basketball. Also, to go more into this, because of the situation, you have quarterbacks on these inflated teams with these NFL players that, yeah, will cause them to win a lot of games, but it's like how people don't count the KD rings. Too much talent compared to everyone else. It's like how you have an average quarterback like Jimmy G on the 49ers look amazing due to his offensive weapons and his amazing defense. It's how you end up with a situation where Baker Mayfield's in the college playoffs looking amazing, but then you have Mahomes who's barely 500 in college. The best example to compare this to also in basketball is when the Bill Russell Celtics had 5 to 6 Hall of Famers playing on the same team. But of course, you're going to win a bunch of championships that way when the other teams only have at most 3 Hall of Famers on the same team. With all this help, the quarterback doesn't need to improve on his weaknesses and other stuff, since the talent around them can help not show some of their faults. If I have a high completion percentage, for example, as a quarterback, because my amazing receiver is good for catching the ball no matter how bad I throw it, and if that same receiver is going to get subpar defenses with no one go to the NFL, then I'll look amazing in college. Which is what could happen in NFL, where you might not get the best receiver or the average one at best. That receiver going against better defenses, so how well of a quarterback I am becomes more apparent. With you also have the situations where some quarterbacks don't know how to lead the locker room. In these stacked colleges, everything's taken care of for these players. The colleges usually have a winning coach for years, the same head coach for a bunch of years, and a lot of times these quarterbacks don't have to deal with losing situations. Most of the time, they have also had a winning coach in high school with amazing talent. Just take Trevor Lawrence, for example, who didn't lose a game his last 2 years in high school. Usually, if you're picked as the number one quarterback, you go into a bad organization. You usually have no great weapons, a new coach that might have just got there last year, such as what happened with Jacksonville Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, in which Urban Meyer was coaching for the first time in the NFL. He was a new coach, and he literally almost ruined Trevor Lawrence's career. Or you can also have something which is current now with the Chicago Bears, which the Chicago Bears have the number one draft pick, but most people would tell you the Bears have arguably the worst roster in the NFL right now. These quarterbacks don't know how to deal with losing situations or maybe how to energize their players to make a comeback during a losing season because they never had to since everything was taken care of them, especially when the coach they had in their previous stints covered up for them and dealt with these problems such as lack of effort. Quarterbacks nowadays also call less plays than they had to. This can lead to situations where quarterbacks are more dependent on their coach to make plays. These coaches will make and call all these plays for the quarterback. Since in college football, usually a top coach only play another top coach at most twice during a season. And most of the time against the competition, they have much better talent than the other teams will play. All of this included can make the quarterback look very well, especially since they can make the call in every play and they can just rely on the coach for these every play. In college basketball, you can't really do that. In college basketball, the coach can only make really plays during timeouts, and you only have so many timeouts during the play. And because of that, the coach has to leave a lot of the decision making to the players. That's why in college basketball, you can kind of see if a player makes good decisions. Do they make pretty much good shot suggestions? Like, or they just go for the most complicated shot, or they make good shot ideas? While in college football, it's very hard to tell that with a quarterback. And you don't really see that till they get to the league. With all these reasons that I've just listed, pretty much can lead to a situation where a lot of college football quarterbacks can look amazing, but and even become the number one pick, and they then look like they can't even make simple plays or look emotionally unstable and fail in the NFL, making it harder to actually rate them as a proper prospect compared to other sports. So now please, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps very much. And please have a good day.